This video has been brought to you by Break Connect. Go to the website and register. Check out what they have to offer at breakconnect.com. Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rockin' Pro for one of the Floor Gangs and Knuckleneck Tribe, and you're watching The Trades, the show about breaking, hip hop, and the business of. How's everyone doing? Woo! Okay, I know that a lot of my viewers are used to me being on later on either Monday or Tuesday, but today we have a special episode because we want to get the European views. But anyway, how's everyone doing? It's been a long time since I've done the trades, but I have been on basically every week the past month, not for the trades, but for my other show called the Hip Hop Dark Web. Last week, we had a really dope episode with Track 2 from Star Child The Rock. He talked about his early days and how he first saw rocking and the transition from rocking to breaking. That was a really dope episode. You could check that out here on the Profo 1 channel. So, yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Okay, so a lot is happening behind the scenes. First, I want to say I want to give a shout out to the crew. I have my event coming on. I just put the Instagram on my Instagram. I just put a clip of the Parliament Funkadelic commercial, and it has possibly the first traces of rocking to breaking with the up step to cross step to knee drop. You can check that out on my Instagram right here at PROFO_FLGZ. You can check that out right now. But we gotta do this show. Shout out to Pluto7, one of the Hip Hop Dark Web guys. What up? So before we get started, I gotta do some housekeeping. First of all, 89% of you are not subscribed. You've helped me get to 1,400 subscribers. Let's get that to 15, just 100 more of you guys. And I need about 3,000 sit hours. So if you want to help monetize the channel, what you could do is subscribe, like this video, and click the bell for notifications, and watch the whole Track 2 interview on the Hip Hop Dark Web. Watch where the Hip Hop Dark Web with Tamal and Seek from Save the Hip Hop Culture, and you can watch all the episodes. Like if you look at it, like I have Ken Swift on the channel. I have B-Boy Remind on the channel. I have Track 2. I have Dancing Doug. I have Mr. Wiggles. Those are all on the channel. So you can check that out right here. So please like and subscribe. And of course, to my main sponsor, ZenWorld. ZenWorld.com. ZenWorld is a company that produces CBD. What's CBD, you ask? CBD is a part from the cannabis plant, but the CD, it's not THC, which is what can give you a head high. CBD actually has healing properties, such as it brings down inflammation. So what they have at the website, they have the ZenWorld Nano Drops. Now the whole thing is the active ingredient again is CBD. Take a little bit actually, and you can put it in your sports drink or coffee. I'm putting it in my coffee right now. And basically it helps with inflammation, it helps with anxiety, and it doesn't give you the head high. Now, if you don't want to drink it like how I just did, you could always use the roll-on. It works like an icy hot, but again, the active ingredient is CBD. So what's great about this is that it massages the muscles, but it will, what icy hot doesn't do is that it calms down the inflammation. And you could use that right here with the CBD Freeze. Now you can get 10% off with the promo code PROFOWON. 10% off. Why not save money while you rest, recover, and regenerate? All right, that being said, now, okay, so, what's been going on, on this channel lately? A lot of debates right now, right? And again, I keep saying I don't stand on any hill, right? With all these debates. and I'm getting a lot of comments, and within the debates, it's like who did it first. So this person has been in my been in the comments, and I clicked on the link. I was like, whoa, this guy has receipts. He has receipts. So I was just like, then I had a conversation with him because I didn't know where he necessarily stood. I didn't know who he was. He was incognito. He was just the vault, right? He was just the vault. And I was like, okay, this guy does his homework. Is he a B-boy? Is he a hip hop head? Then he finally reached out and I had a conversation. I was like, oh, okay, he is a B-boy. And and I'm going to let him explain, how he came up with the channel, how he's involved in in the breaking culture. So yeah, without further ado, hailing from Greece, we have Emmanuel Fox. What's up? And he is the vault. How you doing? I can't hear you. There you go. Turn on your mic. There you go.
Yeah. Good. Hey everyone.
Yes,
Good,
sir.
How about you? How's everything?
Yeah, man, really good. I'm very excited for today's show. Real quick, to the chat, we got Visa. He gives the fire emojis. So, as I say, first of all, let's start with your history. So basically, how did you start in the breaking culture, in breaking?
So,
And what year? And what year?
Yeah, 1999 is
Okay.
the year I started on the island of Crete, Greece. And it was actually completely by accident. I just saw a video clip and there was some breaking in there. I tried it for fun, and yeah, 24 years later, here we are.
Yeah, dang. So you've been in the scene for at least almost 25 years. What was the thing that attracted you to breaking in the first place? Was it the acrobatics? Was it the dance? Was it just kind of like the battle aspect?
So when I started, I didn't have really any idea what was happening because everything came from the internet, and
Right.
back then there was no YouTube, and basically it was the acrobatic aspect of it because I was always athletic and stuff.
Right.
So, and I really, really love human movement, like to see how far the body can really go, and
Right.
breaking was the one thing that never stopped evolving.
Right. Yeah. So so when you first started seeing it, was there actually competition out there?
Actually, I was one of the first b-boys on my island, so there was really nothing there for.
Yeah. So what did
until,
so what did you do? Like, yeah. So if that was the case, what did you do?
There was a square, the main square of the city, and I was going there like 4 times a week, and I was just training. Like, I didn't care.
Oh, okay. And was it just you, or was like a bunch of friends too?
Well, there was a long period of time. A year is not that long, but yeah, there was a period of time I was like alone with no music. We had nothing there, and then slowly, people were interested, and we found other people that started somewhere else, in the city, and
Okay.
yeah. So at some point, we gathered up and we made a crew after like a few years, and and the rest is history.
Okay. And were you at this point? I mean, I'm sure at this point you started hearing about other stuff outside of Greece. Like, I'm sure there was stuff like, like, oh, maybe we could go to Italy, or maybe we could go to Spain, or maybe we could go to France or Germany or whatever, whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, we had styletooth.com, the legendary
Okay.
website.
All right. Yes. Shout out to Styletooth. I mean, before YouTube, right? When they were like actually downloading their clips, right, or uploading clips, there was like that. That was one of the accesses. Being that you're closer to my age, like you're about 40, I'm 40, I'm about to be 48. Were you also going to before B-Boy World was popular? Were you going to the freestyle session, the freestyle session website for as far as the what you call it?
The forums.
No? The forums, yeah. Were you going to the forums?
Actually, we have no idea. We had no idea that existed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's straight to Styletooth. It was straight
there.
Okay. And then eventually came B-Boy World, right? Like that was like the next one, right? So you were in those forums for sure.
Oh yes, every day,
right.
Every day.
Yeah, crazy. And so that was like you said that was 1999, right? Like 1999, 2000.
Yeah, yes.
Um, so what got you into the journey? Because now you are part of the dance adjudication network, right? Tell us
Yes.
a little about that. How'd you get involved with that? How long were you first? How long were you judging? You know?
So I was judging like once a year from
Oh shoot.
2011 in IB.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. So you were like, so when was the first time you judged IBE?
yeah, 2011, I was there with my students, and basically they just needed extra judges, and the host was a friend of
Like,
mine.
hey,
And he's like, "Yeah, you want to judge a world championship? No, not world champion. It was the kids battle, but it's IB kids battle. It's not like
right,
any
right,
kids
right,
battle."
right.
And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever,
Yeah,
And and then I had the connection with IB and Tyrone. Shouts out to Tyrone and
shout out. Yeah, yes,
Mario.
sir. Yes, sir.
And I actually offered next year. I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it again. I'm there. I have nothing to lose."
Right.
And it was good for me, because I'm gonna practice judging as well. And after exactly 10 years, after 2021,
Uh-huh.
after we did the certification for the WDSF judging.
Right.
Sorry, the Trivium judging, not the
Tribute. Yeah,
WDSF, the Trivium.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then it was my first time that I did the World Championship, and after that, it's just been a snowball.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay, so real quick too, you just judged last week, right? You just
Like
like this past weekend,
yes,
like
yes,
Saturday, last Saturday. And
Saturday and Sunday.
Menno got gold. Was it Menno that got gold?
Yes,
And
yes,
then Lee got silver.
silver. Yeah.
Okay, and here's and this is going to be a very. I want people, the audience, to notice this. Okay, and this is outside. This is just within breaking. Is that like for instance, I was telling like crews have to they have to reformat what they're going to do because for instance last year at freestyle session the world finals it was the rugged squadron versus Red Bull, but if you really think about it, it was Red Bull versus Red Bull. So that being Rockstride and Lee are Red Bull, are all stars.
Yeah.
And now we went to the European qualifier, and gold and silver were Red Bull all stars. So I just want, and these are for the kids that might not have the stage moves. I want you to think about what's going to happen after next year because we're going to see more of that.
Oh yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
We could almost predict like crews have to reformat because then once the real money comes in, there's going to be teams. Right? There's
Yep.
going to be
Yep.
sponsorship teams. So what is a crew anymore at that point? Right? Like what value do they have for these? Not so much like, Lee's like what? He's 23? Like Lee's 23, I think, or
I'm
22.
not sure. I think so. Yeah.
Something within that. I'm not talking about them. They're already like, they grew up into this culture and into the breaking culture, into the breaking competition culture where there was crews. But I'm talking about these guys that are 12. These guys that are, because when that 2028 comes in, then it's like, are there gonna be crews? Like,
It depends where the battle scene goes. Like
yeah,
crews after what was it? After BC1, the crews started not diminishing. Like the crew battles were not so much as a thing anymore.
yeah, very true, very
And
true.
but that I don't blame Red Bull
Yeah,
personally,
no,
because if you're an organizer, you can negotiate easier with one b-boy instead of eight.
right, yeah, yeah, that's true. Right, it's easy,
And
logistically, not logistics the B girl, but logistically, it's easier to deal with one person at a time versus like 10 or even three. Three is hard enough, right? I
yeah,
mean, okay, and this is for my viewers in America. If you guys don't understand, because we don't have it that like that, where it's like, okay, let me know, BC one, like, you have access to go here, here, and here with the budget. We're still like one guy, like, basically breaking for gold team are the only ones that's individuals getting flown out, such as Victor or Jeffro or or Gravity. It's still not like a full team yet, and even the team is with the Olympic budget where they can get the American team and the Germany team to the Olympic Village in France. You know what I'm saying? So it's still
mhm,
different. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, we're just talking, we're just talking shop to the viewers out there because before we get into the real fun stuff, because this is like, I'll just honestly, I've been talking about history so much that I haven't talked about what's going on the now, and this is the now. This is the now. So before we get into the fun stuff, what are your predictions for the next after the Olympics? Do you think it's going to catch on to a point where what we're talking about is going to be the new quote unquote sport that young kids are going to be doing and stuff like that?
I just had goosebumps as I wish you're saying that. Yeah, man, I really hope people will see it and recognize it, because you've been there when you break and somebody's like, oh yeah, you're scraping the floor, you're cleaning the floor, whatever. And I always believed breaking deserves the recognition it deserves, because it's so complicated in its structure. Sometimes it's the level of difficulty, and it's something else, man. It's something new for most people.
Right.
They are not ready for this, because everybody, when I say to people, like, how old are you? I'm like 40. And what do you do for a living? I break. Oh, so you do the worm and the windmill and stuff. And I'm like,
the worm.
Yeah, like they're stuck in the 80s. As a joke, when I do showcases sometimes,
Oh
I
wow!
do the
Still
worm.
to this.
Sometimes I do the worm on purpose.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. I like it though. I like it. So okay, now we're gonna get into kind of like the nitty gritty, right? So what made you want to come up? And I'm gonna pull it right here. Like as far as research, so you've been, you're almost 25 years, about 24 years. What made you want to dig for? So if you don't know, what Emmanuel Fox does is that he has a channel called The Vault, and let me pull that up right now on YouTube and on Instagram. But not a lot of people, because especially in the breaking culture, right? Okay. Especially in the breaking culture, everyone's like, originality, I did it first, blah, 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 blah. But you kind of are upsetting the balance, because now you're finding footage that, I mean, we're talking 1940s, we're talking 1950s, we're talking like, when we go deep into the clips, we're talking about rare footage that you've done research on, that's been around, but you've actually put out there. What made you want to do this? Like, as mad scientist, why? Why would you put all your time in this?
Yeah, man. So, all the older people, they were like, yeah, do your research. I was like, okay, I'll do my research. And do you remember the clip, The History of Biting?
Yes, I do. Yes.
So that was in the Detours DVD, if you remember. And,
Right.
I was really struck by it, but then I kind of forgot it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy that had another YouTube channel called What These. He was Asian, from Taiwan, or I can't remember right now. It's been a few years. And he found even more clips, and he re-inspired me into doing this. And his channel actually got deleted on YouTube.
What for?
So,
Do you know? Just because, or what?
because he was posting full clips from movies and stuff, so they just took it out.
Oh, okay. Copyright
Yes.
claims. Okay, all right.
Yes. So I was actually devastated, because I was on that channel every day. He had many clips,
Right.
and I was like, I cannot let this be. This is a treasure for the community. We need this.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself to keep this going. He really helped me a lot. Shout out that what this channel. You can still find his Facebook group if you write What These. And I took the mantle, and I took it like further than before. I'm still digging. I'm still finding things.
Right.
And I'm still amazed, because when we think about all the old movies and all that stuff, you're not thinking about breaking, let's say in quote, breaking moves,
right.
And it just like you've seen a few of the clips, and it's like just like mind blowing.
Yes. For sure.
And yeah, and it takes, you said it's a lot of time. I'm watching, as I told you earlier, I'm watching some like Ukrainian movie about a love interest in a village, and there's this one scene, with like a 5
Right.
second clip in there.
Right.
And every time I find something, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's so worth it. It's so worth it to me.
Yeah, man. Okay, and that's the thing I want to talk about too, before we show some of these clips, is that like what we see on even TikTok today, right? Was like you see the first break dancing, and they'll put like maybe like Planet Rock over it, right? Or like or Apache or something, right? Shout out to my man Tamal from Carry the Culture. He was like, stop doing that because it's not hip hop. I want to explore that first. So first, I want to say, and I think you agree with this, is like the clips. This is not to dispel hip hop. This is not. This is just to understand human movement, right? Like that's that's like pretty much the whole the idea of your channel, right?
Human movement and not.
Okay.
If Because
Okay.
if you check my volume 23, which is handstand, this is more like, I made this video more like a joke actually.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the You have a woman that's contortionist and she's doing a handstand, and then the next clip it's actually a skunk in the same shape doing a handstand. I have a spider that's doing like backflips. You
Okay.
know, yeah, it's a little bit of
So
comedy in there.
so as we go through these clips, because that's one thing about the breaking community, right? I think we're the only community that when you, let's say, when a movement is remanifested, um, if you believe in stuff like that, we're the only ones that goes, that's mine, and no one else could do it. Yet with skating, for someone like Rodney Mullen, who created the ground ollie and the kickflip, he's happy when he sees it. He's happy when he sees people use his moves, right? Yet they still give him props as well. So 1 second. Am I coming out? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So so breaking, because it comes from hip hop, which is built from trauma. We're very about like, this is mine and no one else could do it. And some of the stuff that you're going to see today is going to be like, well, shoot, they were doing it back then. And again, disclaimer, not in a hip hop context, but in a movement context. So that being said, I'm gonna play this clip to make sure so the best person that rediscovered movement is someone like Bruce Lee. And he did it in a way where he was actually able to explain it in a way where he talked about styles, because that's what we're ultimately talking about. And I want everyone to watch this clip of Bruce Lee talk about styles. Okay, let me pull this up. Give me a second. All right, here's Bruce Lee on he doesn't believe in styles no more. Okay, and here we go.
You see, actually, I do not teach, karate because I do not believe in styles anymore. I mean, I do not believe that there is such thing as like Chinese way of fighting or the Japanese way of fighting or whatever way of fighting, because unless human beings have 3 arms and 4 legs, we will have a different form of fighting. But basically, we have only 2 hands and 2 feet. So styles tends to not only separate man, because they have their own doctrines, and then the doctrine became the gospel truth, that you cannot change, but if you do not have styles, if you just say, well, here I am, as a human being, how can I express myself totally and completely? Now, that way, you won't create a style, because style is a crystallization, I mean, that way it's a process of continuing growth.
All right. I mean, if breaking is not religious, I mean, he said gospel, right? He said gospel. And I think with the, like not biting is gospel. Yet he talked about once it has a crystallization, it's hard to kind of evolve. Yeah, breaking does evolve because there's rules, there's traditions, but then at the same time, we break them all the time by adding different movements or whatever, or whatnot. I just wanted to bring that up to make sure that everyone understands, like what the fear of evolution, and understanding what this is humans in general. You know what I mean? This is what humans do. That being said, all right, let's go to the first clip. So I was like, I arranged it just like breaking, right? Like, I'm not gonna do power moves yet. We're gonna go by like kind of. Well, I skipped a lot of the top rock stuff. I just wanted to go to it's getting down to the floor. So I think I put it in order. So the first one is, and we could talk about this clip right here, and we're gonna let's play it real quick, and we could comment on it. I won't put the volume on. So this first one. So and as I play these clips, you could talk about how you came up about it, right? So the first one is top to sweep. All right, here you go. All right, Fox. So let's talk about this. So we have Focus here.
Yeah.
Doing top rock, kick, drop down to sweep. All right. So how did you come up with this clip? So 1965. So it's a Cossack dance.
Yes. So this is one of the easiest ones to find because there's this other clip where they do this Cossack dance, like a battle.
Right.
So I just basically write Cossack dance. So this is one of the first clips that comes up. So this was like really one of the easiest ones to find.
Right.
It's a whole showcase. They have a few things doing on the floor, which is like really interesting. And there's one guy, he's doing something. Like, have you seen Cujo do that UFO, but only one of his legs is out?
Yes.
So there's one guy that does something like that in there, but he steps down every time. That was really interesting to me.
Okay. Dang. So yeah, let's watch that clip real quick one more time. So again, as you see here, this guy is doing that sweep. He's doing that drop to sweep. Oh man, that's so dope. All right. So again, we're going for, because we've seen the tap dancing stuff. We've seen, cross steps. Again, we're going for footage that's not so common. We've seen the Charlie Rock. We've seen the kick and twist. But, that, I was like, oh, spin and kick drop sweep. That was pretty amazing. Okay. So next I have, let's see. Next I have right here. Ooh, okay. Here you go. You can explain this clip as I play it. Sorry. Navigating. And this is what's good about this show, is that we can actually react to some of this stuff. All right. Here we go. So right here. We're going to go for Jive and Beat Bop 46. So we're calling this the jumping knee drop, right? So press play, boom. All right.
So the guy on the left is crossing his legs when he drops, like this guy here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh, with the jump rope. It speaks to my heart, bro.
Yeah, man. So this is like very common in tap dance, in old school clips of tap dancers.
All right, yeah. So I just posted a clip with one of the guys who did the commercial, and they traced that move to the black spades. Again, it's not the most original move, but they did it. You said they did it in tap dancing. The black spades, they called it the umbrella, right? But there's and the black pearls, supposedly Sasa said that they did that move. But the thing is that when Kenny taught it, being from Manhattan, he taught it as the parachute, right? Because it's the way you went down. It wasn't just the drop. It was the way you kind of like eased up into it. That's the umbrella. I'm holding an umbrella. Or the parachute. Like I'm going down and hitting it. You know what I'm saying? So that's, again, we're going for the drops. We're not going for necessarily the footwork yet. So that was a good gem. And then like that. So let's look at that where you got that again. Let's look at that where you got that. So here, let me see. Wait, I'm on this. I got a lot of tabs open, guys. Sorry. I got a lot of tabs open. Did I exit? Okay. Actually, let's move on. Let's go to this one. Let's go to now kind of more what we're used to in breaking. We're going to go for the baby freeze. So now we're starting to slowly get into the power, right? So we have Sambo, shout out Sambo, and he's going to demonstrate the baby freeze. Okay, here, right here. All right. Oh, shoot.
Now give me 5 push-ups.
I didn't know you put that little thing.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Sambo. He helped me with his, the pictures, and he allowed me to use this clip.
Okay.
One thing that is not on the video, I completely forgot about this one. I actually have capoeira guys.
Okay.
Doing a baby freeze exactly like we do it, minus touching their leg on their elbow.
Okay.
The shape is the same, but I haven't put that out yet.
And then let me date this real quick. So you said this footage right here. Let me put it again. So it's marked as 1977.
Yes, and this is from yoga.
Okay, word, crazy, but it still looks mad old. It looks like it's from the 20s. 1977. All right, and this is from where?
1944.
1944. And where's this from?
This is a show from, these guys are like a comedian acrobats, if I remember correctly.
Right. It seems there's a lot of that, right, going on. Right, is like kind of like the vaudevillian, like kind of dancer, like like acrobat show, right?
Yes.
No content. I mean, if you look at the music, it's probably going to be some type of jazz or minstrel-ish music, right? Yeah. It's not going to be necessarily hardcore breaks, and and I think that's the thing that like everyone is not being aware of. They're looking at the moves, but when we're talking about breaking, it's because they're reacting to Cool Herc's merry-go-round theory, then flashes back and forth and spinning the brakes, even though they weren't watching this, or maybe they were. I mean, that's up to debate. But it's how they're reacting to this music, just like house dancing. House dancing uses a lot of stuff, definitely from capoeira, definitely from breaking, definitely from popping, definitely from locking, definitely from lofting. They're mixing all the dances up. House dancing is really the first all quote-unquote all styles dance, but they're doing it to that Philly 4/4 funk beat, which is the early disco, which is this.
Yeah.
So the context is they're using all these moves, but within this rhythm. And that's what makes it house dancing, right?
Exactly.
So that's the whole thing about breaking. Breaking is done usually to this boom bap, kind of like that, the Clyde Stubblefield, like ghost notes of boom. Right? That's what these guys from the Herc parties to the track twos, they're reacting to that rhythm. Now,
yeah, it's the music that makes it breaking.
Right. Yeah, man. And it's not just the moves. Yeah.
Exactly. Because when I first came out, we had a lot of this I had a lot of DMs. This is not breaking. And I'm like, yeah, I know. This is not breaking. This is
yes, I'm aware of it.
Yeah, tap dancing, capoeira, or maybe just people doing movements. It's
right.
People just jump the gun.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Until I had a conversation, it's like, oh, you're actually a b-boy. You just want to do research on, it's like, a lot of it's like, so we're trying to say that we're not original, but it's like, actually, no, it's not, because of the context of the scene. You know what I'm saying? That's great. That's great. Okay, what do I have next? Are we going to the fancier stuff now? Hold on a second. Let's go over here. Okay, over here. Let's go back here. So we're going. Okay, now we're gonna get into the power moves, man. Now this is where it's like, all right. So I was having a discussion, maybe last month. And I was like, nothing is original except for the windmill and the air flare. That's what I thought, right? Like, I was like, because there's a sequence that there is in a windmill that I haven't seen anyone do. right? Like we've seen the kung fu guys kind of do the fan, right?
Yeah.
But what makes the windmill is that there's this part where like the legs don't drop, the hip doesn't drop. I was like, so they were doing backspins. We could say that backspins have been done before. I was like, windmill hasn't been done. All right, well, here we go. Here we go. And this clip, I thought Fox was gonna pull out the Kung Fu fan. I was like, all right, we see Jet Li do it. We see Jackie Chan do it, right? But this one's pretty good. All right, here we go. So let's play a clip of Crazy Legs first, who, created the windmill. Okay.
Hip-hop reinvented everything.
For Beat Street. All right, 1957. Here we go. All right. Okay. Now, all right, I admit it's not complete, but that is very, 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 very close. That is very close. What is that? What clip is this? It's crazy. What clip is this? So it's 1957, right?
Yep, it's some French comedic acrobats, and that thing is just one element away from being a windmill.
It's just the catch. If he just watched the baby freeze, then he would have. If he just watched that yoga, he would have had it, man.
Yeah, man.
That's so crazy. And close. This is the thing. It's not even, I'm thinking Chinese. I was going to think Chinese acrobats, right? Or Chinese Kung Fu as far as the fan. But I mean, he's doing the fan, but this right here, this is crazy. Like, look how close this is. Like, he could just catch. He just basically drops. Like, it's very close. Very close. It's okay. How did you find this? Right? Because now we're talking debates, right? Now we're talking like, all right, well, actually, you know what I mean? Like, actually.
I was doing research on the windmill, actually. This was the easiest clip to find out of all of them.
Really?
Yes. If I tell you what this clip is, you're going to freak out.
Okay, tell me.
It's on the Wikipedia page for the windmill.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, I was surprised as well when I found it.
Wikipedia, the most generic thing you can look up into as far as research. Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
You can go on right now and find it. It's.
I believe you. It's just crazy that that's the thing to go to. Yet we haven't even pulled it as far as researchers. We haven't even pulled it for debate. You know what I mean? Like the most, most debaters are going to go for the Kung Fu, I guess because that's the most exposed, right? It's like, that's the most reference that even the guys from the 70s that, from the Bronx that would go to 42nd Street to watch Kung Fu movies. And they would say they were inspired a lot by those Kung Fu movies. But that was fire, man. That was fire. So let's go to the chat real quick before we move on. Let's go for Stephanie Carly says Greece did its magic again. Fox is on fire. Visa says breaking is amazing. I agree. Yersky says, what's good, gentlemen? Now Joshua says there's something called evolutionary emergence, where because of physical constraints, different species develop similar things, like bats and birds develop filing. Agreed. And that's what we're really talking about. Again, going to the Bruce Lee clip, until we grow another arm, is that, or another leg? You know what I mean? Things are going to be limited, even though, here's my thing. The thing that's original is the sequence. I think what each style of, I think something happened with Fox, but let me go to me. So each style of, well, there you go. You're back.
Yeah.
Back. Okay. So each style of genre of music, because there's no such thing as original notes, but there's such thing as original arrangement. And I think that's what, and then there's such thing as original arrangement to a certain cadence. And that's where the infinite is happening. There's no new notes, but there's originality in arrangement. you know. And I mean, and I think that's what when we say biting, you know, it's hard to call, right? But let's say if you're a b-boy or b-girl and you dress exactly the same way as someone, get the same haircut, and then do the same sequence and the same, yeah, then that we could say that's biting. But as far as moves, it's going to be very hard at this point, right? Even for these kids that are coming up, they think they made something up, but they don't. Maybe they haven't watched Float before. Maybe they haven't seen clips of Incredible or whatever, or Storm, or you know what I mean? They're only taking account for the people that are coaching them or teaching them, you know?
Yeah, and it happened to most of us. Like I'm sure you had an idea and then you saw somebody else doing it. It's common. It's a common thing.
Yeah. All right. Yursky says, if you think of breaking as an evolution from the burn to get burn movement, most moves were meant to show physical superiority. And that's the thing. That's another difference, is the battle aspect. That's what makes breaking very unique compared to all the other art forms. All the other art forms, as far as like, let's say in street dance, I mean, you could say house dancing didn't really start battling, and people are gonna get mad until like organized competition. Because I don't think even, and maybe the guys in New York are gonna say no in the 80s, but it still seemed very vibey. Let's all get together and we're creating a thing, right? Breaking was the first, rocking, I would say, rocking to breaking was the first, that FU element in it. The motivation was different, right?
Yeah.
Even the house dancing is more like a community, let's build. Breaking is the first one. It's like, I don't care who you are, and you know, like basically let me dominate you and humiliate you. That's what makes breaking different, is the battle element.
Yeah,
and then
go for it. It's the ego in us that want to make us better. You lose, let's say I battle you and you beat me, I'm going to get pissed off and go, practice hard and come beat you, and then you're going to do the same. We have that ego, and that ego is good on stage.
Right.
We just have to remove it when we're off stage.
And that's a different conversation as well, because now we're evolving as the scene evolves. That more and more. Well, we don't want to get rid of the battle element, but we want to get rid of it off stage, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, that's the thing, right? We don't want to get rid of it, but off stage, the problem is people carry it still, which is like less and less. But you know what I mean? It's still there, present. It's still very present, right?
Yeah, I think also because the new generation, they have more access to each other.
Yes.
Because when we were, coming up, we couldn't travel most of the times. Like especially me, I'm from an island. I didn't have money to travel and stuff. But now you just take a plane anytime and you go, and it's easy. So they're more friends, and the more they interact, they don't have the ego outside. Even like now that I was in the European Championship, everybody was together, but on stage, they were at each other's throats,
Right. Yeah.
In a good way.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. All right. Let's go to the chat. One more from the chat. We're going to pull up some other clips. Pluto7 says, are you familiar with the book Overcoming Gravity? And if so, what are your thoughts on the book as a whole and the perspective of training methods detailed? Have you seen that book?
No, but I made a note already. I'm going to check it out. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out either, Pluto. Like next time we have a hip hop dark web, we'll talk about it. And then he says, "What's good, Yursky?" Yeah, shout out to Yursky, who was on the trades. He's going to be on next month. We're going to talk about his time in Brazil. That's it. We're going to talk about his time in Brazil. It's basically a follow-up from our original trades episode. All right, so now still more clips. Since we played the windmill, Manuel Fox was like, whoa. I was like, wait, it says body glide. I was like, body glide? Nah, man, it was breaking, bro. This is a body glide with a our belly mill, with a twist though, with a twist. I'm not saying it's pure, but it's pretty dang entertaining. Okay, let's go to that clip. Yeah, I'm having a good time here. All right, so right here.
Anything. Hip hop reinvented everything.
I always put that. So here's the belly mill, right? Or Superman. Some people like to call these Supermans. All right, 1983. All right, is it breaking? Nope, it's not. Boom. Right here. Uh, uh, oh crap. All right. Holy crap. Look at that. What the hell?
And just a small,
I mean, it's like just like the fan, right? Okay.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
talk about this clip. Where did you find this? First of all, where did
yeah,
you find
man,
this? That was amazing.
man. This is like a 2 hour show. A Chinese circus act, and she was all the way in the end.
Oh
Uh,
shoot. Okay.
Yeah, but Chinese circus, it's oh man, they have so much. They have so much stuff. Like, and I'm
Right.
still like, I still haven't touched the Chinese circus or the acrobats in
Right.
general a lot. I still
Right.
haven't touched kung fu movies, almost nothing.
Not yet?
Well, some of them, just a little bit, but
Right,
because
right.
I have to sit down, I have to watch the movie, take notes, and all
Right.
that stuff.
Right.
Because I have like this huge list I have to go through. And
Let's
if you,
real quick. Let's see your computer, your desktop, real quick. You showed me earlier, just to show how detailed Manuel Fox is. The vault. Look at this. So I want you to see the receipts that he has.
okay, so you
Look
can see
at
it?
that. Yes.
So what you're seeing here is everything I haven't released yet, which is around 127 stuff. And then on this folder is what I have released so far.
Whoa. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, talk about research. Talk about sifting. Talk about, like, this is what digging is, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what digging is, this is like the definition of digging. You know what I mean? That's what's crazy. Yeah, go for it.
So I would like to make a small note about the clip. So if you can pull it up and freeze it at a point that we can see what she's holding in her leg or on her foot.
Okay, sure.
Because I really want people to know what she's holding up there, because it's more complicated than people think when they watch that clip.
Yeah.
So yeah, there, right there. So what she's holding on her foot, it's not like one thing. It's not one piece.
Really?
I think it's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 balls stacked on top of each other.
Really? Oh yeah, you're right. I thought it was just one vase.
Yes, it's not. Somewhere I found a picture of her, and you can see it up close, and it's like 6 or 7, and the top part is.
What the heck, man? Okay, right here. We're gonna go here. Lost Fox for a second, but let's just look at that. What the heck is going on? That is not just one vase. That is a few plates, or it's like a vase and a cup. Okay. Something happened with Fox. Let's get him back. We'll get him back when we can. That's crazy. So as we're getting in Emmanuel Fox, let's go to the chat. Let's go to Yursky. He says, since breaking decided to stay down at all, became a part of our vocabulary instead of separate moves. Agreed. Yeah. Pluto says, are you familiar with the, okay. And we went to that already. We talked about, all right, we have you back. We talked about, so Pluto says the belly mill or stomach mills are invented by London. Shout out to London from New York City Breakers. And Pluto says in certain circles, NYC, they were called the Londons. Okay, word. That's crazy. But yeah, I just zoomed up on it. I saw that one angle of that clip, and yeah, you could kind of see it's more than just a vase, right? It might be like a cup, a vase, and
I think it's like a few balls stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, there you go. Crazy. Right there. Okay, amazing. And that's the belly mill. Holy crap. Belly mill or stomach mill. All right. Okay. Now this one I like a lot. I mean, this is gonna be common, but I think we should play anyway, because everyone's just like, oh, a lot of people sent me a thing of the 90, right? Track 2 was on here talking about how he created the 90. You know what I mean? In breaking, let's put it in context. In breaking. So we have is obviously, you know, capoeira stuff. So let's actually let's do this. Let's do this one. I like this one. This one's dope. Okay, so right here. Okay, that was crazy. Let's do that one more time. So basically, he's doing a sweep to a 90 right here. And as you see, it's 1973. So right here, sweep, and then 90. Crazy. Okay, so where'd you find this one?
This is one of my most recent finds. Actually, this is the first time it's out. First time
Oh.
on the show.
Hey, cool. Premiered on the trades.
Yeah, so this is one of my most recent finds. When I get bored of looking at one thing, because I'm trying to look at one style of dance or whatever every time, and I've been looking at capoeira, and there's so much stuff. And we know capoeira existed in the the Bronx or whatever, it was there, and I'm sure it has affected a lot because there's baby freezes. Even that spin LNS does.
The reverse slide.
Yes. Yeah. That's from capoeira. Right. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know. Of course, I'm not there.
Right.
So yeah, this is capoeira has been even inverts. Right. Even inverts.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing that definitely capoeira is given to breaking directly was the invert, right? Was the hollowbacks and inverts. That was directly influenced by capoeira,
100%.
Yeah, so let's go for this one. This is a capoeira one too. I like this one. This one's really cool.
This is treasure.
Did I just skip it? Oh no, that's coming up. Yeah, right here. Bong! All right, that was that wasn't a dead man 90 or inside 90. Boom! That was crazy. All right, where'd you find this clip?
This was along the research of the previous one. Okay. This was on TV actually back then.
Yes. Oh, okay, okay, man. Yeah, that's dope, man. Because I think that's the thing that's gonna be as far as who explored that. We know the one that what's the one that the popular one with the 90? What's her name? What's the lady?
Marie Level, something like that. Something, yeah, the one that everybody's posting once a year.
Yeah. To a breakbeat. What year was that? Do you know off the bat?
So the first one was what we said, 1973, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. So this clip, I couldn't find a date for it, but I narrowed it down to the 70s.
Okay. And then that clip with the lady in it doing the 90s.
If you give me 1 second.
Okay.
And I sent you a link on our chat. I wanted to send you earlier. It's just a photo, but I think it's going to impress you.
Okay, cool. Let me do it. All right. Yes, it will. All right. Let me pull up that photo real quick. And check that out. What the heck?
So as you can see on the description, this is around 1800 to 1880 or 1890.
Wow.
This geisha, from the story at least I'm not sure, I cannot confirm it, but I'm going to put it out there. Uh-huh. The story is this is an illegal picture because you couldn't take pictures of geishas back then.
Oh, wow.
So somebody took that picture. They're kind of drunk from what I read. So they're supposed to represent the fish on the top of the castle on the roof. They have some fish. I think they're koi fish.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so that's what they're supposed to represent.
What the heck? That's crazy. That's dope, though. That's dope. Oh, yeah. Look at that, guys. All right. So that's basically the main stuff I want to pull up. So what do you think about now after doing this footage, does it affect your stance as far as creating things? does it? How's it shaped you after like? Because ladies and gentlemen, you saw the list in his desktop, right? You saw you saw rolls and rolls of unreleased footage, right? And I mean, we're not stopping at breaking because he has stuff like the backslide, aka the moonwalk. You know, you got the Michael Jackson lean. You got all this type of stuff. You got tutting in there. You got kind of like popping moves. How has it shaped your perception on breaking or on creativity in breaking?
All right, before we go there, just a quick one. So Miriam Lavelle, that clip is from it's from 1943.
1943. Okay.
Yes.
1943. Okay.
Just
Cool.
to get that out.
And so, yeah, go ahead.
So, look, of course, most people, they've never seen these clips. They don't know, So
Right.
when I judge, for example, I'm never gonna cut points, quotation marks, of course, we don't give points. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I've seen this before in one of my research and stuff, because what I see in my clips, it's not breaking. So when there's a battle, it's the response to the music and what they do. So,
Right.
but when I have discussions about originality and that stuff, and then I go like, and then I show them the clip,
What's the reaction most of the time? Because what's the reaction? When you show them the clip, like like originality, and you're like, well, what's the reaction?
Yes, some people are like, whoa, but I did have a couple of, they went on the defense, like, yeah, but breaking is this and that, and I'm like, yes, of course, I'm not saying otherwise. This is not breaking that I'm showing, but when you say I created, I prefer the term, I incorporated it into breaking.
Right.
Of course, some people, as we were talking about before, about what was the words? The evolutionary emergence.
Right.
Yeah, we have the same body. Maybe somebody thought of it. Cool. I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, right here. You've been created. You stumbled upon it like somebody before you, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Not accusing anyone of anything, because again, I don't know. Maybe some people are lying, and maybe they're not. That's
right.
Who does what? I don't know.
Right. What would you say? Okay, so what do you think about biting now? Because there's like biting. This is biting. That is biting. Because it is part of. My comment on it is like I want to say it's toxic. A lot of people will disagree with me about biting. And like I said, I have my opinion, which is like if you dress like the guy, get the same haircut, and do the exact same sequence of moves that person did and didn't do anything to evolve it, then yeah, you're biting. But I rarely see that. Like I really don't see that. Maybe back in the day, maybe this is more 2000s. You saw someone dress up like Remind, and then they look like Remind, and if there was no light on them, you thought it was Remind, but it's actually not Remind, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
So still biting. So yeah, exactly what you said, on point. But you know what? You gotta bite to evolve it, because it's innovation, right? You take something from somebody and then you make it your own, flip it, like Focus is saying. Shout out to Focus. Learn it and flip it, and that's it. Yeah. Sometimes when I teach my students and they show me their favorite b-boy and they're doing something close to their level, I'm like, yo, try that. It's going to teach you a different way to move. It's going to teach you something, but don't do it in a battle.
Right.
Flip it, make it something new. And even when, like, if I've spoken to a lot of the old, like the 90s generations that I've met, and these people are happy to give their moves away because they're like, I don't want my moves to die with me.
Right.
And as you said, it's toxic. It's very toxic. We need to figure out like a good way to teach, a good way of biting.
Right.
Take it, evolve it, make something new. Because imagine air flares. Oh, it's my move. Never do it again. We would never have all these
Yeah,
But this craziness that's happening. So I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah,
like it works a bit like copyright. You make something and nobody's touching it for a few years, and then
yeah.
after a while, it's
That's
part
true.
of the
I mean,
community.
that's what's, no matter what, that's what tends to happen. Okay, what do you think about this? Because this is how far some people go. I'm not going to say any names. I remember back in 1999 at Pro-Am, in the Ultimate Circle, it was Mingus went out, and Kenny went out right after. Then I think Flowmaster came out, and someone called Flowmaster a biter. Why? Because he's Kenny's student. Because he does a similar style like Kenny. Yet he is Kenny's student. What do you think of that?
So I think as a teacher myself, like the student will follow the master at first until they find their own way.
Right.
It's natural evolution. Like you cannot go around it. So if they call him a biter, I don't think that's valid personally, because
Right.
he's Kenny's student. So
Yeah.
especially if it was in the beginning, he
Right.
would definitely look like him, because that's what he sees every day.
Right.
So you are unconsciously, you copy that.
Right.
So I don't think that was valid.
Yeah, that's how far it is out here in America. It's slowly dying. Again, that was 23 years ago. And I saw that and I was like, really? But that's his student. Like, it's not like he watched him in a video. No, he's with them every day training. I think that's again, and some people will hold that to it. They're like, no, it's gotta be that. I was like, really? No, it don't. Again, these are 30-year-olds and 35-year-olds, and I'm sorry, but that was a toxic trait. And you think these 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds care about that stuff? They don't. They don't. All right. Okay. So we're an hour in. We're about to wrap up the show. Man, I think this has been a really good open. We just scratched the surface. You know what I'm saying? We just scratched the surface. But I really want, if anything, I want to keep the audience captivated. Why? Because I want them to actually go to the YouTube channel, and I want you to press that subscribe button and see for yourself so many clips. We're talking let's look at this list right here. We got Air Baby to Cricket. We got Shoulder Chair. We got Jumping Spider Crab. We got Cricket. We got what else you got here? We got the Crab Suicide. We got the Gravity Dive. So there is so much in this channel, and I want people to go to it, and I want you to subscribe to it. And even on Instagram, he has the vault, right?
Yeah.
The vault on Instagram. Let me go to that too real quick. Because right there, you could see the clips if you don't want to go on YouTube, right? You're too lazy to go on YouTube. Boom.
Yeah, although YouTube is more, you can navigate the clips easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, right here, which is quicker. For all you younger people that don't like to go on YouTube. Are you on TikTok at all?
I tried it, but no, man.
Yeah.
Too much.
But here, the same, look, check that. That picture is crazy. That's crazy.
Yo, they're at the top of the Empire State Building with no safety. None.
Damn, that's crazy. So again, you can follow the vault. So it's right here too. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's look at that Michael Jackson clip real quick. Let's look at this real quick. Just to show you that he doesn't just do breaking. Okay. Alright.
Just wait for it.
Oh shoot.
Wait for the Mexican guy. Woo! Look at this guy.
Oh.
Looks smooth.
Yeah. Okay. With the juggling.
Yep, this is a Russian acrobat.
again. You know what I mean, bro? See, again, it's not just breaking. It's just, you know, you're like, you should see his tutting stuff. He has tutting stuff in there too, which is pretty dope. Again, you could find him on Instagram and on YouTube. I asked this in the last video. So, what do you have to say to the audience before we wrap it up? Is there anything any messages, any words of advice, or what do you have going on coming up?
Yeah, I've got loads more videos, guys, coming up. You know, I'm super busy, so I cannot pump them up as fast as I would like to. You know, anything, somebody, you know, if you have a question, even if you stumble upon something and you think it's interesting, you know, feel free to reach out, because I am working with my community, because all the clips I make are by memory. I don't remember everything.
That's good.
So,
that's pretty good then.
So yeah, and I'm really all, you know, I'm really all about working with my community. Like my last clip, it was, if it wasn't for my community, number 105, I wouldn't make it, because I just couldn't remember a battle that had that choreography, for example.
Wow.
You know, and keep digging, keep searching for the truth, whatever that is. You know.
There you go. All right. So we had Emmanuel Fox from the Vault. And this has been the trades. I said exploring the vault. I talked about exploring the vault. You can find me on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. This has been the trades. Peace, and see you guys next week with DJ Rheumatic from the Beat Junkies. Have a great day, guys. Peace.